on the News Channel 5 network. This is the Plus Side of Nashville.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Plus Side of Nashville. I'm Tawanda Coleman. Well, if you're 50 years or older and you live in Davidson or Williamson counties, there's an organization that you need to know about. For over 5 decades now, 50 Forward has been dedicated to helping older adults live fuller, more productive lives. We'll tell you in what way and tell you about some of the programs that you just might fit into. That'll be later in the show. But first, do you have, say, a budding guitarist or perhaps a drummer want to be in the family? Well, that's good, because research shows that playing a musical instrument is very beneficial to children. But music lessons and musical instruments don't come cheap. That's why the work of the nonprofit organization Notes for Notes is so important. And here to tell us more about this organization is Philip Gilley and Jen Hodges. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Hey. It's nice to know that this program exists, because I was telling you before the break, I always wanted to know how to play an instrument, but we really could not afford it. And I understand this organization began in Santa Barbara like 8 years ago. It has now expanded. It has 5 locations, and 2 are in Nashville. So Phil, tell us about this organization, its mission, and why you think Nashville has 2 of these 5 locations.
Sure. Well, going back to the start, one of the genesis for the idea was wanting a place for young people to come into and just first and foremost get their hands on instruments and all the equipment, plus the type of equipment that's not readily available in the schools. So we don't focus as much on band, but more so on contemporary stuff. So it's guitars to play rock, and drums and keyboards and synthesizers, DJ gear, digital music workstations, and then a full studio to be able to record that music. So it's the whole process from exploring it, getting your hands on it, trying it, then we do lessons across the board. Then there's the studio aspect of being able to create a product, but also learn about that side of the industry as well, and then all the other careers around it. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for getting into music, and it's completely free.
Yeah.
And it's, like we say, where a lot of dreams like to start musically. It's where I wish mine had started, so that's why I provide this opportunity for the next generation.
That is wonderful. Well, Jen, you probably have a musical background, I would imagine.
I do.
And you get a chance to work with these young people at the Boys and Girls Club. And I understand there's 2 locations in the Boys and Girls Club. Where are they located? Where are they?
One is in the Andrew Jackson Boys and Girls Club on 16th Avenue North, and one is in the Preston Taylor Boys and Girls Club on 38th Avenue North.
Great. So do they come to you with any sort of idea as to what it is that they want to play, what it is that they want to write? How does the program work?
It depends on the age group.
Okay.
If they're younger, they'll come in and just start exploring everything and just start touching everything and being as loud as they possibly can. And we like to encourage that because that's how they kind of settle on something that they want to pursue. The older they get, the more of an idea that they have of what they want to do. Most of my youth write songs, rap, sing, and so they're vocalists. I have a metal guitarist as well, and so it's extremely varied in their interests.
Who do you have working with these young people?
This is one of them right here.
Yes.
This is Jen. She's our program director in the Nashville North location. And really at the core of what we do, I mean, it's all these resources. It's a facility with all the equipment, the instruments. But really what makes it special is our program directors like Jen. Because at the core of what we do, really it's about building relationships. I mean, anyone can build a room and put equipment in there, and then you just hope they show up. And oftentimes just that allows magic to happen. But they come first because of how the studio looks. They come back because they're working with someone that's there to help them at any level of the process, from instruction all the way up to recording and engineering. And most importantly, there's no judgment. It's a community. I mean, that's one of the reasons, one of our core vibes is we don't censor lyrics. And we do that for a very important reason. It's that there should be no boundaries on that. You should be able to explore however you want. So it does us no good to put a sign on the door that says you can come in and do this, but you can't say that, that, and that. Our goal is come in, express yourself. But we're also a community based on respect, because that's how relationships form. So the goal is you can say whatever you want, record it, but guess what? When you come around the side of the glass and we listen back to it, we're going to talk about it. And we're going to evaluate it, and we're going to figure out, is this the best track we can make? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, maybe we need more, maybe we need less. But at the end of the day, the goal is built on making an incredible track. But through that whole process, a very organic relationship is forming, which is not forced at all, and really goes to the core of teaching them about the power of their words, identity, and those are what relationships are formed on, and that's what Jen's really good at.
And Jen, you're basically like a mentor for these young people. Do they have to get permission from parents to sign up for the program, or is it just come in, it's free, and I will be here for you?
They get one free visit, and then we send them home with a permission slip and ask their parents to sign it so they can come back. And that's mostly so we can use their music to promote them and the organization and use their image and stuff like that. But yeah, they get to come in one time for free and check it out. We also ask that they join the Boys and Girls Club as well.
Have you gotten any feedback from the parents? Because I would imagine that just by being able to be creative and express themselves, these young people are able to really sort of get a lot of sort of inner emotions out. Do you ever hear back from the parents how this program has helped?
I had one parent come in and say, I had no idea that my son could sing. And I said, yeah, as it turns out, he can.
Wow.
We have parents come in and they're thrilled all the time to hear, you know, just to bring home a CD and listen to, you know, their child being expressive and honest about their lives. I think it sheds a lot of light on the things they're going through and the things they're thinking.
Absolutely. And you said CD. These young folks actually get to go to a real-life recording studio, put their music down on track, and they get a CD?
Or an MP3 or a WAV file or whatever you want. Yep, that's correct.
That is pretty awesome.
Whatever the most popular format is. I mean, it's probably not CDs now. We're just talking about vinyl.
Yeah.
Vinyl is more of a comeback than CDs. But yeah, I mean, it's about getting their music up online too, because in addition to coming in and learning and creating a product, it's what do you do with that product afterwards too. That's part of our goal in our educational process, is that we want to teach them about, if you want to make a go at this career-wise, there's tons of other careers than just being a musician, mixing, engineering, business, lawyers, entertainment, all that stuff. But in terms of the product, taking that, putting it online, and figuring out how to get it out there, for feedback, or you want to start touring, you want to start getting recognized. I mean, those are all parts of essentially the compressed educational process of being an independent artist, that if we get them started when they're younger and they do want to make a career out of it, they've got that runway that they're starting to move forward.
Did you have that at a young age?
No, I mean, I never had obviously anything like the studio, hence why we started it. But for me, it was just exploring, trying stuff out. I mean, I recorded stuff on a little home 4-track recorder, as a lot of people did. But we wouldn't be able to do what we do had not the price of the equipment come down, and being able to build project studios, really high-end project studios. And then you mentioned the Boys and Girls Club. I mean, they're one of our key strategic partners. And here, the Boys and Girls Club, Middle Tennessee, I mean, the way it works, they give us the space, we equip it, we run it. It's a perfect partnership that serves their youth and brings in new and existing youth as well. So,
do you see the program expanding to some other Boys and Girls Clubs?
That's the goal. I mean, we have lofty dreams of being everywhere we possibly can be. So we're targeting some cities right now, like Brooklyn, Detroit will probably be our next one coming online. We're looking at San Francisco as well. We already have 3 in California, 2 in Santa Barbara, 1 in Santa Monica. We're working on another Los Angeles location, 1 in Ventura, which is in between LA and Santa Barbara. And our goal is to be in every major city, and then continuing from there, growing into the smaller communities that surround those cities as well.
So Jen, how often do these students work on their projects? Do they come in once a day? Are they there for 3 hours? How does that work?
I usually block out 2 hours for a group of students, and the younger kids come in about an hour a day. So it's on a weekly schedule. Everyone gets at least 2 hours a week to work on their project, and I would say that I have about 8 groups working on an EP right now, so hopefully at the end of the year we're going to have a nice mixed, maybe mastered EP for 8 groups of students all ready to go.
Oh wow. So do you have groups? Do you have duos? Do you have individuals who are rapping, who are singing? Do you just have a group of individuals doing their own thing?
Because of the environment that we create, they gravitate towards each other and want to collaborate. So a lot of them will come in and meet each other for the first time, and they'll be digging what each other does. And so they'll say, hey, you know, you got to get featured on my record, you got to get featured on my record. And so they'll come in with each other, and I guess technically they're working on individual projects. However, there's a lot of collaboration going on and a lot of features between the youth.
I love that.
And that's one of the things we're really proud of, and why it's free in expression but also no fee monetarily for it, is essentially, as I said before, it's a community. And when you create a collaborative environment like that, it brings people of all different backgrounds together with the commonality of creating music together. So it doesn't matter where your parents go, are from, if you have money, if you don't, what school you go to, because if you come to an environment and your goal is to create music, you don't really care all about all that other stuff. You care if someone's good and they want to make music. If you need a singer, it doesn't matter where they came from or what their background is. You need a singer, and you're going to make music with them. That's
very true. Well, this is a wonderful, wonderful organization. If there was one thing that you could say that you wish that you had that would help improve this program, whether it be volunteers or some donations, what would that be?
Well, I'm sure every nonprofit always says donations, and we're no exception as well.
Yes.
But I mean, we're looking at continuing to grow here in Nashville with another location as well, and as I mentioned, nationwide. So in order to do that, as I said, we're in the relationship game, in the studio, building relationships with youth in the context of music, but also outside. That's how the organization grows.
Absolutely.
I can't tell you how many times we've been able to go and we talk to one person, they introduce us to this person and this artist and whatever. Is, you know, for us, we grow with benefit concerts and donations and gear donations, people volunteering wise wanting to come in. If you're in the industry, or if you're just a musician, or if you're someone who wants to help out in any way, help connect us to all those resources as well. That's how we grow. So time, donations, gear. If you've got gear, that's an easy thing to donate as well.
Absolutely. Well, if people want to find out more about this program, should they just go to your website?
That's it, notesfornotes.org.
Great. Thank you so much, Philip and Jen, for being here.
Thanks.
We appreciate it. Well, when we come back, we're going to be talking about the organization 50 Forward and how they're dedicated to helping enrich the lives of adults 50 and over in our area. And we'll tell you all about how you can get involved as well, so stay with us.